Talking now? Start talking. What are you going to talk about? Just talk. Yeah, just talk. Yeah, you go. No, actually talk. Welcome to my video blog. I've just written my article on what is the thing that combines Barack Obama with Russell Brand and the BBC. And if you can guess, the answer is no, they don't just all start with B. They're part of a cultural revolution. And I've listened to Barack's speeches, and he hasn't once thanked President David Palmer from 24, the series 24, Jack Bauer, because you know, on the screen, David Palmer was the first black president of America, USA, and so it kind of changed the mindset of Americans, and so Barack's become the 44th president of America. So that's pretty good. And television, what a culture, how it changes our culture. I've written on that on my article. But the reason why Starbucks is so big is because of Friends. You know, the Friends, the sitcom. And that kind of established that idea of people sitting around having a cup of coffee and chatting. And from that has come a multi-billion pound corporation called Starbucks, and etc., etc. So I've written about Russell Brand, saying it's not totally his fault, and Jonathan Ross, that they've been banned from television, you know, for quite some time. Jonathan Ross, a number of months. It's not their fault. You know, the BBC's trying to be really edgy and trying to gain the listenership and the readership and the viewership of, you know, people from 18 to 30. They felt like BBC Radio 2 was getting all old-fashioned, but that's what it's there for. Radio 1's there to be cool and groovy. Radio 2 is there to be old-fashioned. So they wanted to bring some rough cutting edge back to it, and so they brought in Brand. But if you get Brand, you get the personality of Brand. And again, if you read the article, personality is the window of the soul. And so because Russell Brand lives in a cesspit, yeah, it's like putting a glass, you know, into the water to see everything that's swimming around in the cesspit that lives within him. And so, you know, BBC's to blame, but hang on a sec, they're just trying to get the ratings because their mandate is to please everyone, to be popular. And it's an impossible task. Somebody emailed or Facebook me the other day saying that someone's written something bad about me somewhere in the world, and so I grabbed a little mouse and brought the little arrow up to the X, and just above the word delete, pressed it, and everybody loves me now. You know, if you try and be popular, it's just not going to work. And I think when you're a minister, or if you're a leader in anything, or if you're a celebrity, you know, the worst thing you can do is open up the newspapers to find out what people are saying about you, because you're always going to find one critic that's going to absolutely annoy you. And I heard the lead singer of the Kaiser Chiefs saying that he refuses to read the newspapers because as he's singing to 10,000 people, he used to just imagine the face of that one critic who says their music's rubbish. And so now he doesn't get distracted by the fact that, you know, it's going to be a great concert. And I think if you go for popularity and if you read what your critics write about you, you're in big trouble because you'll never please everybody. And in Christianity, Jesus Christ didn't go for popularity. You know, there was some times that he fed everybody with loaves and fishes, you know, 5,000 men, some women and children. And there's other times that he, you know, reduced the crowd by saying, come on, it's more about fellowship with me than just fellowship with loaves and fishes, you know. And so he wasn't hooked on popularity. It's one thing we need to get out of our system, is being hooked on what people think about us, and to be hooked on what God thinks about us. You know, every day you want to hear a celebration of heaven, of God thinking you're wonderful, and God thinking, I think your future's bright, and God believing that you're the right man, the right place, the right time. And so, you know, he's a God of pleasure. He created us, says in the book of Ephesians, for his pleasure. And so we give him great pleasure. He rejoices over us with singing and dancing. You need to get that into your system, because love celebrates, and because God is love, celebrates over us. And when you get your ego filled by heaven's favor, it's the right place for it to be fulfilled. Otherwise, your ego's blowing in the breeze, trying to pick up every grubby little thing in order to appease it. And that's when life goes downhill. But anyway, have a read of the article, and you'll see that I've studied culture, and I kind of like the idea that personality is becoming more a driving force than just sheer talent. A lot of people say that some people have become famous for having no talent at all. I think that's a good thing, because they're becoming famous because people can identify with a part of their personality, with who they actually are, and they can they're more connected to the person. And so we've reached an odd place in our society, though, where people's best friends are the person who wins "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here," and their worst enemies are people from Big Brother who they've never ever met before. And so it's the emergence of a personalised television culture, and people like Barack. People have gone beyond the prejudice, and they actually feel like they identify with him more than John McCain. And so even personality is driving the voting system more now than ever before. So partly I think it's good, partly it's not so good. Celebrity culture's not so good, everyone wanting their 15 minutes of fame. But I'm raving on, which I'm not meant to do, because this is my blog and it's only meant to go for a couple of minutes. So have a great week, have a great weekend. And if you are around in England in the next 2 weeks, why don't you come to our fabulous conference? It's on at Pond Sports International Sports Centre, and we're going to have a brilliant time with two of the world's great speakers, Dr. Teo Adeyemi from New Wine Church in London, who's one of the great Bible expositors and great inspirer, great wisdom, and Wayne Alcorn, who's the opposite, who's an incredible storyteller and someone who is able to relate life to the power of the gospel, and someone just totally captivating. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. So why don't you book in on hopecitychurch.tv and join us for fabulous. Great to talk to you today, and have a great week. And we shall see you soon, okay? Bye-bye.